Good day. In this video lesson, I will discuss the important concepts about the different types of speech styles. So what is a speech style? Speech style refers to the way something is said, done, expressed, or performed. So in Tagalog, ito yung paraan o estilo mo ng pakikipag-usap sa iba't ibang klase ng tao. Ang ating estilo o pakikipag-usap ay nakadepende o nakasalalay sa kung sino ang ating kausap. So dito din nakasalalay kung ano dapat ang mga piling salita na ating gagamitin. Yan ang tinatawag na speech style. So according to Jews, there are 5 speech styles. Each style dictates what appropriate language or vocabulary should be used or observed. The first speech style is what we call the intimate style. This style is private, which occurs between or among close family members or individuals who know each other quite well, such as a husband and wife, parent and his child, lovers, close best friends, or siblings. The language used in the intimate style may not be shared in public. So ang intimate style ay ginagamit lamang natin para sa mga taong malalapit sa atin o di kaya mga taong matagal na nating kilala o kasama. Katulad ng ating mga magulang, kapatid, malapit na kaibigan, asawa o kasintahan. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ang intimate style sa mga taong hindi natin masyadong kilala at hindi malapit sa atin. So in this style, the people involved may have their own expressions, language, or vocabulary which they themselves only know or do. So this means that in the intimate speech style, yung magkakilalang tao, example lovers, they have their own expressions or language na sila lang mismo ang may alam at sila lang mismo ang nagsishare nun. Na hindi na nila pwedeng i-share in public or hindi na nila pwedeng gamitin or gawin sa ibang tao na hindi nila kilala. So example of these expressions or language or vocabulary which are used in the intimate speech style, we have the word sweetie pie. So this is common between lovers. Or the text message or the symbol XOXO, which represents hugs and kisses. So you can send this message to your parents, to your siblings, to your lovers, but you cannot send this message to any stranger. So even holding hands, kissing, hugging, these are forms of communication used in intimate style. Because it is private, you only share these expressions or this language with people who are very close to you. And this cannot be used to people whom you do not know or to any strangers. So that is what we call the intimate speech style. So here are situations which show how intimate style is applied. First, mother kissed her children before going to bed. So this is common between a mother and her children, okay, or her kids. But the mother cannot do this to other children, isn't it? Okay, because they do not have any relationship with each other. But between a mother and her own children, okay, they can do it. Even the children can kiss or hug their parents because they know each other. Another example, Lisa embraced her best friend to cheer her up. So embracing is a kind of intimate style. So you can only embrace someone who is very close to you or someone whom you really know. You cannot just embrace anyone along the street, isn't it? Number 3, Carlo texted his girlfriend, "Hey babe, musta? Ingat lagi. Mwah mwah, chup chup." Okay? So this is common. This is an intimate style which is common between lovers. But here, Carlo cannot text, "Hey babe, musta?" to his own barkada, or he cannot text this one to any stranger or to any friend on his Facebook account. He can only do this to his lover or to his girlfriend and vice versa. So that is intimate speech style. You cannot share this kind of communication with anyone whom you do not know or who are not very close to you. The second speech style is casual style. This style is common among peers or friends, classmates, your coworkers, and neighbors who do not have very close relations. So this style is more informal compared to other speech styles. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang casual style ay ginagamit sa pakikipag-usap sa mga kaibigan, kamag-aral, kapitbahay, kalaro, at sa mga taong hindi masyadong malapit sa atin pero kakilala natin. So in this casual style, you can use street language or salitang kalye or salitang balbal. You can also use gay language, or this is a kind of language which is shared among the LGBT community. Or you also use the vulgar words. Or if you say vulgar words, these are bad words. But as much as possible, we should avoid these kinds of words when communicating with anyone. So that is casual style. You share this kind of speech style with your friends or barcadas, with your classmates, or with your neighbors, so whom you do not have very close relationship with, but you know each other. So here are examples. You are exchanging messages with your classmates about your homeroom guidance module. So it's just a casual exchanging of information with your classmates. And your classmates are your classmates, but you're not very close to each other. So it cannot fall under intimate style unless one of your classmates is your close best friend. But of course, the relationship would be different and the style would be different. Another example, you are telling your neighbors to turn down their loud music because it disturbs your family. So example, you will say, Uncle, Auntie, pwede pong pakihinaan konti yung music ninyo or video okay ninyo kasi naiistorbo kami dito sa bahay. So it's just a casual, normal conversation with your neighbors. And you don't have any intimate relationship with them. Just casual. Diba? Example, you and your barkada are sharing stories. Paano yung tawa ninyo? Eh di wow, kayo na ni. Kilig match akets. Charot lang yun, Mars. Okay, take a look at the words which are used. These are very casual terms or words you use when communicating with your barkada, your friends, isn't it? Okay? But you cannot use these words or these terms when you will be communicating with a teacher or with your school principal, because the kind of relationship you have with your teacher or with your principal is different from the kind of relationship you have with your friends or barkada. Okay? That's why you can only use these terms in casual communication with your friends, barkada, or with your classmates. So that is the casual speech style. The third speech style is consultative style. This style is the standard one where professional and mutually acceptable language is a must. This is the normal style of speaking to strangers or persons who are neither your acquaintances nor friends or nor relatives. It is semi-formal in nature. So what does this mean? In Tagalog, ang consultative style ay ginagamit sa pakikipag-usap ng formal sa mga taong hindi natin kakilala, hindi natin kaibigan, o sa mga taong walang koneksyon o relasyon sa atin. That's why you will use the consultative style. Sa consultative style, kailangang makipag-usap ng maayos at may respeto sa naturang tao. Kasi nga, nakikipag-usap ka sa isang tao na hindi mo kilala at wala man lang kayong connection o relasyon. Hindi katulad sa mga taong kakilala mo sa intimate style o sa casual style. So here, ginagamit din ang mga katagang sir, ma'am, madam, doc, etc. Okay, to show the formal or semi-formal in nature of this kind of speech style. Okay, what are examples of situations or people who use the consultative speech style? So we have the communication between the teachers and students. So when you try to communicate with your teachers, the kind of speech style you will be using is consultative. It will not be intimate, because your teacher is not your best friend, your teacher is not your jowa, or your teacher is not your biological parent. That's why you cannot use the intimate speech style. Can you follow me? And you cannot use the casual speech style when you communicate with your teacher because your teacher is not your barkada. Your teacher is not your classmate nor your friend. Okay, that's why it will fall under consultative speech style because your teacher is your teacher and she has a higher position than you or she has a rank different from yours. That's why when you communicate with your teacher, try to observe respect or courtesy. Their communication is semi-formal. Kasi hindi mo barkada yung teacher mo, hindi mo jowa yung teacher mo, o di kaya hindi mo best friend yung teacher mo. Okay, that's why you need to use consultative speech style. The same with the communication between the doctor and a patient. The doctor and the patient do not know each other. So they cannot use intimate or casual style. They will use consultative speech style. The same way the judge and a lawyer, the president and his subordinates or constituents, and even teachers and principal. Okay? We, the teachers and the principal, the kind of speech style we use is consultative. Because of course, technically we are not best friends. Okay? Technically we are not siblings. Okay? We are co-workers. That's why we use consultative speech style. And of course, our principal is higher than us. She is our superior. So we follow the consultative speech style. Okay, can you see the difference among intimate, casual, and consultative? Oh, here is an example. You send a message to your teacher by texting, "Good morning, ma'am. Pwede pa po bang mag-submit ng comics sa Monday? Thank you, ma'am." So in this example, notice that the message of the student to his teacher is a little bit formal because the student observes the position or status of his teacher. But if the student sends message to his barkada or friends, it will not be formal, just like this. So his conversation with them will be casual because his friends are his acquaintances. So kung paano makicommunicate yung student sa teacher ay iba sa kung paano siya makipag-communicate sa kanyang barkada. Another example, the teacher told the principal about his plan to take the swab test. "Good afternoon, ma'am. This is to inform you that I will be absent tomorrow because I will be having a swab test at the PDH. Hope the result is negative. Thank you, ma'am." In this example, since the teacher and the principal are not close friends, the teacher will be a little bit formal also in sending a message to his superior, which is his principal. Okay, so there is a particular protocol, communication protocol that will happen between the teacher and the principal. So that is the consultative speech style. The fourth style is the formal speech style. This style is used in formal settings. Unlike the consultative style, this is one way, which means that the speaker only sends the message and the receiver only receives. Since it is formal, speakers follow the standards of writing or speaking, avoiding jargon or street language or vulgar words. It should observe also the correct grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So that is the formal speech style. So dito, iwasan ang paggamit ng mga salitang balbal or street words dahil ikaw ay nakikipagkomunikasyon ng formal sa mga taong hindi mo kakilala o sa mga taong hindi malalapit sa iyo. So what are examples of this formal speech style? First, we have sermons by priests and ministers. So as much as possible, the speech style which the priests and ministers they will be using during their sermons in the churches would be formal. Another example, the State of the Nation address of the President. And also we have other formal speeches such as valedictory address or inspirational speech or even oratorical speech. So those fall under formal speech style. And also your research defense. It is also formal in nature. So that is the formal speech style. From the word formal, so it follows the standards of writing or speaking. And lastly, we have the frozen style. So why is it described as frozen? Bakit nanigas? Nandun ba sa loob ng refrigerator? So this style is frozen in time and remains unchanged. It mostly occurs in ceremonies. It has a fixed and static language, which means it does not change. And it uses long sentences with good command of grammar. It is oftenly repeatedly recited or read, thus resulting to lack of facial expressions and emotions from the speakers. So that is what we call the frozen speech style. Frozen kasi hindi nagbabago. Frozen kasi paulit-ulit lang na sinasabi o nire-recite. So what are examples? First, we have the Lord's Prayer. I believe all of you know the Lord's Prayer. So when you recite the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who are in heaven, and so on and so forth, that is frozen. Kasi paulit-ulit mo lang na sinasabi at hindi nagbabago yung nilalaman ng the Lord's Prayer. The same with Panatang Makabayan. So you usually recite this during flag ceremonies. So you will say, Panatang Makabayan, iniibig ko ang Pilipinas, and so on and so forth. So the Panatang Makabayan doesn't change at all. Okay, and it is repeatedly recited during flag ceremony. That's why it is frozen style. The same with praying the Holy Rosary. And also the pledge of sportsmanship during intramurals. And also this one, I now pronounce you as man and wife. You may now kiss the bride. So where do you usually hear this line? Of course, it is during wedding ceremonies. So ito yung paulit-ulit na binibigkas ng mga pare. Okay, pag sa end na ng wedding ceremony, I'll now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Okay, so it is frozen. Kasi hindi nagbabago at paulit-ulit lang na sinasabi. Okay, so those are examples. These are examples of frozen speech style. So they are repeatedly recited or read and they do not change. So there we have it, the 5 types of speech styles. So again, if you say intimate speech style, it is private in nature. You only share this with people who are very close to you or with people whom you know for a very long time. So the language used may not be shared in public. Second, we have the casual speech style. It is informal in nature. You can use street language, gay lingo, or other vulgar terms, and you share it with your barkada, your friends, or your neighbors, or people whom you know, but they are not very close to you. Third, consultative speech style. This is standard and semi-formal in nature. So you use the consultative speech style when talking to strangers or when talking with people whom you do not know, people who are not your acquaintances. Fourth, we have the formal speech style. This is one way. The speaker sends the message and the receiver receives the message. So since it is formal, it follows the standards of speaking and writing. And last, we have the frozen speech style. It is fixed and static, meaning it does not change, and it is repeatedly recited or read. So those are the speech styles. So dito nakadepende o nakasalalay kung ano yung klase ng pakikipagkomunikasyon mo sa iba't ibang tao. So kung malapit ka sa tao or very close kayo, you will use the intimate style. Pero kung hindi kayo masyadong malapit or hindi masyadong close yung relationship ninyo pero magkakilala kayo, you will use the casual speech style. Pero kung wala man lang kayong connection or relasyon sa taong yon, use the consultative speech style. Okay? Pero kung makikipag-communicate ka in a formal way, use the formal speech style. And then we have the frozen. Ito yung prepared na. Prepared na na i-recite mo, prepared na na sasabihin mo. And that is frozen. So, I hope you understood our video lesson. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you understood well what the different speech styles are. So good luck on your modular learning.